A cross-dressing hitman named Lin Xianming goes to the house of a guy named Takashi and kills him and his mother. He calls his boss Zhang and informs him about the successful mission. He also gets another task to kill a detective this time. Lin knows that killing a detective is a hard job, but he has to do it to get the money back and finally be able to return to his sister Tiome. When he goes to fulfill this task, he finds that the detective is already dead after committing suicide. In the meantime, Detective Zenji Banba gets the task from another detective, Shigematsu, to investigate the suicide of the detective, thinking that it was a murder. Shigematsu shows him an anonymous parcel he received, which contains a picture of the current mayor in it. They assume that the envelope was sent by the dead detective, and that the mayor is involved in the killing. In reality, Mayor murdered the detective with the help of a senior hitman named Ivanov. On the other hand, Sato, an employee of Murder Incorporated, is transferred to another branch named Fukuoka in Akata. His superiors asked him to be careful of other hitmen, because the place is a battlefield of hitmen. They gave him the task of killing a high school student, but he got trapped by a man who thought he was the student. Meanwhile, Lin demands payment from his boss, but they refuse to give him any money because someone else killed the detective, and ask him to kill Banba if he wants any money. Lin goes to Banba's place and offers to protect him instead of killing him. Lin has said to his boss that he is on strike until he gets his money, and then goes to Banba's house. He tells Banba that he is here to kill the hitman who will come to attack Banba, and will protect him too. Lin resides at his place waiting for a hitman to show up. He does not want Banba to stay at home, so he goes out to buy vegetables as well. When he goes to the market, Banba sneaks out to find information about him through a private informant. When he comes back, he finds Lin already in the house, and he has captured the hitman who came to kill Banba. The kidnappers find that they have captured the wrong man, and they let Sato go. After going home, he finds that the student he was supposed to kill has been murdered in a car accident. He gets the money but is confused about whether he should take it. When he looks at the amount, he gets surprised and goes out to enjoy the money. When he wakes up the next day, he finds a dead woman lying next to him. Lin and Banba go out to eat, and Banba reveals that he knows the information about him because he did the research and offers to pay the debt for him. After getting the money from Banba, Lin goes out and calls his boss to tell him that he is a free man, but instead finds that his sister has been killed. Lin goes to his office, where he kills everyone, and goes to his boss's office. His boss says that his sister was very innocent, and his mother died 5 years ago, so the money he was sending to her is also being pocketed by him. Listening to all this, Lin gets enraged and tries to attack his boss, but the hitman Ivanov holds him while his boss escapes from there. He tries to attack the man with the knife, but it has no effect, so he uses the knife gun and finally kills Ivanov, getting injured in the process. As he is standing there after killing Ivanov, Banba barges in and says that he came here after following the tracker be put on Lin. Banba gets him treated by the doctor, and then offers to help him find his sister's killers. Sato is being framed as the murderer of Lin's sister, so he goes to Jiro, the man who mistakenly kidnapped him, and asks for his help. Meanwhile, Lin and Banba start their investigation and find that Sato is the prime suspect, but he is probably being framed. Their informant, Anakita, shows him the footage of the hotel lobby, and also a recording through which they find that the person who killed Lin's sister is Hirata, the mayor's son. Lin finds that Hirata is looking to buy another girl, so he decides that he will disguise himself as a girl and go there, while Banba finds that he and Lin are being targeted by an organization, and they hired Nawaka Samurai, the most feared and talented hitman. And Akita gets captured by the mayor's team and gives them information about Lin going there disguised as a woman. When Lin gets there, he gets captured by the men who point guns at him and also torture him. He thinks that Banba will come to save him, but they show him the head of a dead Banba, saying that their hitman Nawaka killed him, and so Lin is going to be the next one. They ask Nawaka to kill Lin, and as he was about to attack Lin, he noticed that Banba's head has ear piercings, while in reality, Banba doesn't have any piercings. As he is thinking about this fact, the Nawaka guy turns around and kills all the people there. He then takes off his mask, revealing that he is Banba. Banba says that he planned all this with the help of Jiro and a plastic surgeon, Dr. Seiki, and faked his death. Banba and Lin's next mission is to find the mayor's son and kill him, which they do with the help of Enokita. Sato and Jiro also join them in their mission. The mayor's hitman Raiko is protecting Hirata, but when she learns that he is about to be killed, she tries to escape just as Jiro and Sato come into the apartment and hit him. Sato reveals that she is the one who took her to the drinking party. Lin and Banba come after them and capture Hirata. They bring him to their house, record his confession about the murder and his father's cover-up, and post the video online. Banba, Lin, Jiro, and Sato join a baseball team with their other friends and participate in different games. Jiro's employee, a torturer named Toze, complains that he hasn't had any job recently, so Enokita introduces him to a dark website where people post their requests and says that he can look for jobs there. Lin is sitting in the cafe of an elderly man who is a Banba informant. Soon Banba joins him and says that he will be taking some time off, as it is the official time of a famous festival, Yamakasa, in Akata. Lin agrees to work at his place for the time being. Sato is being targeted by his old organization, Murder Incorporated, and when he calls Banba for help, Lin picks up and perfectly does his duty as he saves him from the hitman. Meanwhile, Saruchi, a hitman and an employee of Murder Incorporated, is bored by his job, so he quits it and moves to Akata. There he runs into his old colleague Noya. Noya says that he sits as the consultant at Murder Incorporated and says that he will buy the things that Saruchi uses in his job. Noya then tells him about Nawaka and asks him to kill him. Nawaka agrees to be killed because he feels challenged by a seemingly difficult task. Banba is sleeping at his place when he gets a call, but instead of him, Lin picks it up. The man on the other side says that they have a task for Nawaka and were hoping Banba could do it. Lin fakes Banba's voice and takes the task. He disguises himself as Nawaka and goes to the client's place. When he reaches there, he finds that there is no client but instead Saruchi, who wants to kill Nawaka. They are fighting when suddenly a van stops there and kidnaps Lin. Saruchi manages to attach a tracker to the car and follows it angry because his target has been snatched away. Saruchi and Noya find the car, but Nawaka has already been killed. The man who kidnapped Lin tells them that he is a fake because he doesn't match the appearance of Nawaka he knows of. Meanwhile, Banba is at the festival when he finds that Lin went there as Nawaka and has been captured. He quickly leaves the festival and goes to find Lin. Banba encounters Saruchi and says that he is the real Nawaka and they can fight now. When they are fighting, the men from the Kakyu organization arrive to take Nawaka away, saying that their chairman wants to kill him. Saruchi again follows the car and saves Banba from them. They run from there, but soon the members stop following them after finding that their chairman has been killed. Banba and Saruchi fight again, but the battle ends without any results, so they consider it a draw. Meanwhile, Lin is still alive as Toze was the one who was hired to torture and kill him through the online website. A cyber-terrorist emerges in Akata, sending threatening emails to celebrities and demanding money in exchange for keeping their information private. An officer comes to meet Enokita and asks him to look into these cyber-terrorists. He gives some information to the officer, but before he could continue their meeting, he received a call saying that Sato had been arrested. Dr. Siko calls Banba and informs him that bodies have been delivered to his clinics. He says that there was a message with it saying that he has to dispose of the bodies or he will get killed, but he has no idea who they are. The bodies have been brutally tortured, and it is very hard to recognize them. Lin and Banba meet Sato, who tells them that his computer was used to send threats to famous people. They go back to Banba Place, where a man comes to them saying that he has to find a boy. The man shows them the picture of the little boy, and they are surprised to find that the boy in the picture isn't Enokita. They are more surprised to find that he is the son of a rich man. They are still talking when Enokita comes in the room and quickly goes away after seeing the man. The man is his previous butler Yaji, who helped him escape 8 years ago when his father ordered him to kill him. Yaji chases him and soon catches up to him. Yaji tells him that their computers have been hacked and they want his help. In the meantime, a cyber-terrorist group finds out about the identity of Enokita and executes a plan to kill him. Enokita's laptop has been hacked, but he finds the intrusion and sets a diversion to mislead his chasers. There is prize money at Enokita's head on the dark web, so he gets attacked by a hitman. Banba appears and saves him just as he is about to be killed. He tells Banba that he will contact him if he needs any help and then goes away. Later at their house, Lin and Banba receive a different coded message from Enokita. Enokita drops false hints for hackers and then shuts off his terminal. Enokita is sitting in a restaurant when there is a sudden blackout and he gets kidnapped during this time. They take him to a personal warehouse where a man beats him up in a boxing ring and shares the video online with the kidnappers. Sometime later, Enokita meets the man who ordered his killing, who says that the video they saw was a fake and he has the real one. In the real video, Enokita attacked the man and killed him. He tells the man that in the video Enokita is a fake and he is actually a hitman. Previously, Enokita had met with Lin and Banba, and together they had planned to send Lin in place of Enokita. When he was getting beaten up in the ring, Banba barged into the place and saved him. Banba then went to the headquarters where he had killed the man. Enokita says goodbye to his butler, who tells him that it was his father all along who had planned to let Enokita escape because he wanted to let him explore things on his own. Lin works with Jiro and helps him take care of some men. He then comes back home where Banba teases him for not saying a greeting and then tells him that he is going out. Later, their baseball team, consisting of Banba, Lin, and Okita, Jiro, Misaki, Sato, Yamato, Seiki, Martinez, Shigematsu, and Genzo Goda, goes to play as usual. Banba instructs Lin on the various tricks and signs used in the game. Lin is getting used to new friendships, but he is worried that this will not last forever. As Banba asks him to trust his teammates, he gets flashbacks of when he was told to only trust himself. In the past, Lin was living with his mother and sister when a man approached his mother and asked her to sell one of his children so they could get out of poverty. His mother had refused, but Lin, who overheard the conversation, told his mother that he got a job and sold himself to the strange men. They had brought him to a place that looked like a jail and started preparing him to be a killer with other children. He is assigned to a cell where he meets his roommate Filang and quickly becomes acquainted with him. Filang tells him that everything happens here in teams, so they have to form a great team. 4 years later, their team is the best, and their final task is to fight each other until one is killed. Lin plans to get out of there, but Filang betrays him, saying that he killed his previous roommate, and he is going to do the same with Lin. He attacks and kills Filang after discovering his true intentions. Lin is at Banba's place, where he is again reminiscing about his past when the doorbell rings. There is a woman at the door who introduces herself as Banba's ex, and says that she had the task to kill him. But at that time, he was very wild, so they ended up dating. Before Lin could hear more interesting stories, Banba came in. The woman gives a file to Banba, and he told Lin that it is the list of the Kakyu Association's executives, and they are going to take down Kakyu. Meanwhile, Naoya talks to the leader of the Sungwon organization, who says that they are planning to expand the organization to Japan. They are also after Kakyu, and they ask Naoya for assistance. On the other side, Kakyu is battling against a top hitman and wants someone who can fight against him. In exchange for his demand to meet Lin, they hire Failnak, who is still alive, to complete the task. Lin and Banba kill the people from the Kakyu organization, while Saruchi also kills the associates. After getting back from work, Lin again gets the feeling that he can't trust Banba and decides to leave the house and run into Okita. He takes Lin to his office, where they watch a video of a murder, and Lin is shocked to find that Filang is still alive. Meanwhile, Filang cruelly kills all members of Sungwon's organization. When Kakyu hires Filang, he is determined to take revenge against Lin. He decides to launch a series of attacks, beginning with a hitman named Saruchi. Saruchi puts up a great fight against Filang, but after a while he suddenly fails to hold his ground anymore and falls into the river. Luckily, Banba saves him in time. Saruchi tells Banba about the redhead who attacked him and says that he was very strong. When Banba comes back home, he finds that Lin is not there. He calls in Okita to find out about Lin, but he says that he doesn't know anything. In the meantime, Lin is hiding from his friends in the internet cafe with Okita, but Okita has already informed their group of Lin's presence except Banba. They all come to meet him at the cafe one by one, and the last one to visit him is Sato. They receive a call from Shigematsu, who asks them about the Noriaki Hayashi murder case, in which 2 people have been killed with the same kanji as Lin in Fukuoka has been killed. Lin figures that the murder message is for him and asks Okita to track down the location of a survivor, then goes there to meet Filang. Lin goes to meet Filang and confronts him about the past incidents. Filang says that he survived and the man who came to dispose of the bodies treated him and then sold him again. He offers Lin the chance to work with him, but Lin refuses all his offers. They get into a fight, but soon Lin starts having doubts about his decisions and runs away from the scene. Banba found out about Lin and went to save him, but instead he was attacked by Filang. Lin and Banba both get cornered and then get kidnapped. In the meantime, Okita and his friends go to the shop owned by Genzo, a former hitman, and they all plan to save Lin and Banba. At night, Lin and Banba are at the headquarters of Kakyu, where they are locked up in a tiger cage. Filang orders them to kill each other, but instead they attack them on the other side. Their team also enters the room by deceiving the guards, and they kill all the members of Kakyu. The next morning, Lin joins his new friends, and they all play a game against Saruchi's team.